Greetings, my friends, and welcome to Complex Kaleidoscopes from Simple Canes, brought to you by Tiny Pandora Crafting Boutique. And I want to invite you to come craft with us live on Facebook. My daughter and I are on every Saturday at 3 p.m. And as you can see, it's not a real serious event, but we have a good time and we'd love you to join us. So you can see links below. Now this is a cane that I made from this simple flower. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is taking a cane that you have already made and formed into a triangle. So that green one there, the green and orange one, I made round, just like the previous one. And I just pressed it into a nice sharp triangle shape. You can see that in a lot of my videos. So I didn't really do it in this video, but what you do is lay your round cane on a flat surface. You push down on the sides and you take your time forming and stretching and reducing like this. So I want that one to be a little bit longer, so I thought I can cut it and put it together. I took that out to about 4 inches, I think. I think you'll be surprised at all the mileage you can get out of a really simple flower cane, or a simple cane of any kind, as long as it's got some good colors. You want to always be thinking about the background, because when you, as you can see from that white and purple one down there, that little one, the background between the flower petals really makes a difference, doesn't it? It makes a background for your whole tile, your whole cane, or your whole kaleidoscope. So I like these colors. I like the way they go together. And all you have to do is put your triangles together after you've cut them in half. And that's going to be the beginning of your flower kaleidoscope cane. Now, in order for it not to just look like flowers, that's the reason we're not cutting it now and putting it into a hexagon. Because I want to manipulate this a little bit. I want to change it up. So I'm taking those two pieces and making them into a triangle again. The only part you have to trim off of that is a very front bulge and back bulge. And that's where your clay had to go when you reshaped it. So you don't want to push that back in like you would sometimes. You want to trim that off because it's where the excess clay flowed when you made your new shape. I'm bringing this triangle in, and triangular cane reduction is always done just like this. Going to cut it again and put it back together. So now you can see you've got that starburst in the middle, or you could have the other corners in the middle. It's just what I chose. And it doesn't look so much like just a regular flower anymore, like you see that those cut pieces do. So I'm going to make a hexagon with this so we can see how it goes together. I'm pinching my corners tight. I'm making sure that they're kind of pointy, because that way when you stick them together, you don't get as many gaps, especially in that center area. I put them together in threes, and then put the threes together, and that's a lot easier than trying to fit 6 triangles together. So you can see it's not very hard, and really any cane can be a kaleidoscope when you think of it that way. I'll show you with another one when we cover cane reduction. But you see that one just doesn't look the same anymore, and I'm glad, because you only need so many flower canes. If you were going to make a floral motif, that would make a beautiful border, and obviously it'd be well coordinated because it's the same cane. You see, I'm always looking for a camera range in there. That's because these are recorded live, so I've cut them down for you so they won't be so boring. These are some other canes that I'm messing with right now, and you see they got caps on them. Those are the big caps, and then on the canes are the little caps. I sell those at tinypandora.com. I do that because one of the worst things that can happen is losing a whole bunch of your cane during reduction. It tends to suck in on the ends and pull inward and just take all of your cane with it. I'll do that round one probably later on. But I want to show you the square one because the round one's kind of self-explanatory once you've seen the square one done. So round or square, you're going to be pressing in on the edges. So if we were doing that round one, we'd be doing the same. We'd be pressing it in evenly around the edges. You cut them very clean on the edge before you stick your caps on, and that way they suck on and they won't fall off. Those are lucite. They won't eat into the clay, and that's the kind of acrylic that you want to use on clay, is a real high-grade acrylic that won't break down when it's exposed to polymer. And now I'm bringing the edges in, each side in. With that round one, I would pinch it in the middle with my fingers in a circle, like the OK sign, and I would make a waist right in the center of that round one. But I'm really doing the same thing with this one. You see it goes on. I kind of skip forward a little bit so you wouldn't have to, die of boredom. But you just continue to do that till it's about the size that you want it. You get close to the end there, we press them really down, really well on that cane cap, and you trim them up, and you just are not going to have any waste. I'm going to put these together. Don't save your pretty slices. Don't mash them all up, because they make beautiful Natashas. And you're always going to be cutting the ends off. At least your whole cane didn't get sucked into the center. That is just so disappointing. Happened to me many times. And now I've got that little cane, and really there wasn't much to that. But because it's reduced and recombined, I can get a nice square kaleidoscope image out of it. And you can do that with any cane that you've made. You can even put more than one cane together and make it into triangles and squares and hexagons to get a really complex look out of, a fairly simple cane. So I'm going to use these together. I like the colors. They're both made from really the same base cane.